Welcome back, listeners, to the Nice to Meet You podcast. This is the official premiere of season 3, and today's episode is going to be a little different for the podcast because today I'm starting the season off with probably one of my most controversial topics. If you all remember living in Australia as an American with Yamen Jackson back in season 1, episode 16, I've decided to have Yamen back, and he is here to talk about, and this is quote unquote, why he left the Democratic Party to become a Republican. And so the reason I decided to have Yamen back is because I feel like we don't only grow when we have people that think like us. I feel like people that sometimes think outside the box, think differently than we do, sometimes they also help us grow. So, at the Nice to Meet You podcast, it's all about inspiring one another to become the best version of ourselves so we truly know who is staring back at us in the mirror. So I wanted to bring Yaman back to discuss why he decided to become a Republican, or how his outlook has changed and how this decision has contributed to the man he is today. And Yaman and I, you all know, we go back to the halls of the greatest high school in the STL Gateway. And I know it's called Gateway STEM now, but it was Gateway Tech back when we were there. So yeah.
GIT.
GIT 2001 and 2002. So he is a businessman. 01. All right.
That'll get us started now.
He is a businessman. He's a father. So join in with me in welcoming Yamen Jackson back to the Nice to Meet You podcast.
Hello again.
How's it doing? How's it going there in Australia? We're on 2 different days, y'all, just to let y'all know. I'm on Friday at around 2:10 p.m. and you're on...
I'm on Saturday. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
So this is crazy. We're on 2 different, like you're in the future.
I'm up early with it too. So yeah, y'all living in the past.
I know. We need to catch up with you.
I mean, respectfully speaking, yeah, you guys living in the past, but it's okay.
All right, so we gonna dive right in it, like get straight to the point. So when did you decide? And I put this in quotes because you told me like you weren't like throwing up Democratic Party, but you voted. So when did you decide to leave the Democratic Party and become a Republican, and what led to your decision?
I mean, well, the frame of the question is like that. I mean, I'm not necessarily a Republican. It's like more of about the mindset or the conservative thinking. It's like when you learn the values of the conservatives, then it's like ask yourself, are you a conservative? Because one of our ancestors seem to be with the Republican Party. But the value for a conservative is faith, family, and freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know those three values, then ask yourself, like, do I got my faith? Do I believe in faith?
Mm-hmm.
Do I like freedom? Do I believe in freedom? And do I love my family? Or do I believe in family? It's like those 3 values kind of get miscrewed when it comes to, thinking about the 2 different parties. And I'm like, I really don't know the values to the Democratic Party, to be honest with you. And it wasn't really, like I said, it wasn't really a switch or nothing like that. It was a switch in mindset, because I was automatic when I first started voting, vote blue. That's all. It's like vote blue no matter who. And we don't even know. That's all I just was taught. Just to vote for the guy that that's on the Democratic side.
Yeah.
And the other side is sorry, the light could be going out.
You're good.
Can you still see me?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. But yeah, just vote for the guy that's on the Democratic side. That's all people told you.
So did you start doing like research, or like what like caused you to, like, I guess I want to say, think for yourself? Because like as we're raised, you're Black. That's what you are. That's like typically what we are. So like what made you, what changed your thought process?
Well, I guess side note is like, yeah, I'm Black, but it's like it's more to it. It's more to life than just your skin color. But what led to it was like, I don't know, I started growing and living and working and just being exposed to other thinking. I mean, different ways of thinking, different people, and the way they were achieving things. And it was like a mindset that was different from what I was used to. And I was like, I was used to hearing a lot of roadblock talk, meaning, oh, this is in your way, this is in your way. But then started realizing wasn't a lot of stuff in my way. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it really was me. I was like, what am I doing? Then the biggest transition was when I was thinking that way before I left St. Louis. But then when I moved to Texas, oh man, it's a different type of thinking down in Texas. You know, it's a conservative town. I started running to even more conservative people, and the politics were, you know, still hot and everything. And I was running into stuff, and I was like, whoa. And I was just hearing everything but the roadblock talk,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, I was looking at seeing what the results from people that were not talking roadblock talk, and the results for the people that would talk roadblock talk. And I'm like, you know, it's kind of put things in perspective. It's like, I mean, how real can we get? Like, I got to pay attention to what's in front of me,
But was
you
it
know.
like a
And
culture thing? Because it could be just like typically like you moved from a different culture. Like St. Louis has its culture, and then you moved to
mhm.
Texas, it has its culture. Was it necessarily a part? Because like you said, you don't assign yourself to a party, but you changed the way you thought. So could it be just a shift in culture?
Well, the culture is a very important topic because culture is a what habit of doing things. That's how I like to sum it up. But it ain't just a city. It wasn't just a state. It wasn't just a, you know, St. Louis. It wasn't just a city I went to. We talk about, you know, different cultures of in groups of people. You know, you have blacks, Asians, white, right? Blacks, we have a culture, a habit of doing things.
Hmm.
So I put a lot of in perspective about, you know, some of the habits that were hardwired in me, you know, of growing up, and realizing some of the I guess the fruits that birth from those habits,
Yeah.
and start putting in perspective. You got to be real what's in front of you. Like, is
Hmm.
it roadblocks, or is it me sometimes not having the courage to do things,
Hmm.
thinking I know the results before I even think. I like to shoot the ball, you know. It's like last I was talking about it before, thinking that I'm going to miss already, and I don't even take the shot.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people give you reasons, or why you this ain't well. This is why you won't take the shot. This is why you won't take the shot because this. That. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I, take the shot. You know, instead of you know, focusing on
So
a lot of arbitrary things.
do you feel like in the Democratic Party they don't encourage you to take the shot?
No, they don't. They don't. They and I like to when I hear do I feel like I think, you know, I think that they do more of the government is your crutch.
Okay.
You need the government in
Hmm.
order to take the shot. You need the government. Like, we can't do this on our own, you know? But then you look and, like I said, reality in front of you, you see a lot of other people doing it on their own. And a lot of times we assume that they getting handouts.
Hmm.
And a lot of people are not. Some people are coming from worse situations than we are. When I say we, I mean black people. Some people are walking in you know, walking their life, and they got, you know, they'll come to you and like, man, I grew up, my mother died when I was there. I didn't even have no parents. You know, and then somehow they just become successful. And it's like you like, man, you had it worse than me. What you mean? Damn, you lost your what? Wow, you had what happened to you?
Hmm.
And how did you know what I'm saying? It's like you have a bunch of those stories in America, and you supposed to ignore this stuff and say, nah, focus on the roadblock talk.
So is that
You
you feel
know?
like that is a liberal way of thinking? Because like you said, I'll stop saying Republican, Democrat, I'll say conservative. So you
That's
would say
okay.
that is that a liberal way of thinking?
To what?
To not to just make excuses for everything, to rely on the government, to what you just said. So do you feel like that's what liberals do?
It's graduated from my research a little bit. It's graduated to the point where it's that, you know, where it's not the old liberal way. It's like, yeah, people talk about liberal being progressive. Like, yeah, we need to move forward. It's times, you know, everything. That document should be probably a breathing document and all that stuff. I'm like, but you know, some of the things that we should probably, in my opinion, protect ourselves from. Like, all right, the mind can go a long way when we think about things that we can do in this world. Like, how far do we go?
Hmm.
Like for real, because it was at one point there was some strong values that America held to. And I ain't talking about some of the stuff that be like, yeah, make America great. When was America great? It wasn't great when there's slavery. I ain't talking about that stuff. I'm talking about the stuff that had people marrying each other more. The people
Yeah.
that was having kids not out of wedlock and stuff like that. Is like those type of values. Like
Yeah.
those values existed, and specifically the Black community participated way more than they do now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's like we were doing better progressively, during the Jim Crow era, then now it's like we got 71% single parent homes and stuff
Hmm.
like that. It's like, yes, the government was in, a bad situation then, but at the end of the day, we were still individual. We were doing, we wasn't leaning on the government too much. So yeah, I do believe that the liberal way of thinking is, government this, and it ain't the focusing on your skin color. I mean, it
So
is the focusing on your skin color stuff.
no, so like some of the posts that you make, so I'm gonna throw it out there. You can kind of be on the controversial side. So as far as your family, as far as your friends, like how have you what have you ran into, since you decided to be more conservative? Or do you have friends and family members that are like, man, they don't deal with you anymore since you decided to, decide to make this decision? Or have you had some join you on this side, on your side?
I've convinced a lot of people to start thinking more instead of feeling more. Like I feel like that's if you notice people say I feel like I'm like, no, okay, that's cool. Yeah, you don't want to invalidate somebody's feeling, but what do you think? Right. So I have had a lot of friends that push back because they know me. They know where I come from. Like, man, we come from where we come from.
Yeah.
So for me to transition in my way of thinking, yeah, it is not for them to. I mean, they don't really push away from me. They challenge me. They come in and commit. They still converse with me, and I'm able to stand on what I'm saying and convince them or help them understand and see things. And a lot of them have come back like, I see what you're saying. But then the thing about the brain is they sometimes they still struggle with holding on to their foundational thinking.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, you slip right back into it. It's like, are you falling for it again? You right back to making it quote unquote excuses again. It's like, bro, did you do it though?
Hmm.
No, I ain't even get around to it. I'm like, just saying. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, you still want me to believe that the white man blocking you? The white man didn't even knock on your door. The white man didn't even stop. The white man didn't even think about you today.
Hmm.
Just saying, what you eat don't make them, poop. So
Well, how do you feel like, okay, because I think I heard you say before that, like you just said, Black people make a lot of excuses. And I think I heard you, like, it was on your live not too long ago. You were talking about Tyler Perry. And you were saying, like, how he, started off and, he's like, I don't know, is he like a billionaire right now? Like, he's close to it, if not there. So do you feel like the culture of Black people, do we get in our own way, like the things that we go after, the quick money, the rims, the temporal things that you see, they like, we don't really live for the future? Do you feel like Black culture is responsible for that?
our culture, right? Because Black culture ain't separate from me. Our culture, yeah, we don't, and that's the difference between excuses and reasons, right? People give reasons, and they be valid. They be so valid. I know that we are descendants of victims. That makes us kind of victims as well, right? But we do have a tendency to have give a lot of reasons on why we did not shoot the ball, and a lot of it has to do with our subconscious. We didn't grow up around a lot of success. We didn't grow up around a lot of people that shot the ball. If we grew up around when it come to money, right? We grew up around a financial struggle. So as this is what I had to notice in myself. It's like the habits that I formed was shaped by where I grew up. Now I grew up around financial struggle. Like every time I remember when I first started hearing about money or kind of knowing about money, all I seen was people struggling with money. That's all I knew. My family, I'm like, everybody just had this money stuff. It's like, man, everybody just seemed to struggle with it. Like, oh man, this money. I'm like, what's up with this money stuff? Right now that I think back, and I'm thinking like, and it helped me. It created habits for me to kind of tend to struggle with the money.
Yeah.
It's like, because it isn't a spiritual thing when it comes to this money. It does do some things. It has some power. So yeah, I mean, I think we tend to use a lot of reasons to not do some of the things that we want to do,
Hmm.
and take some of the shots, and some of that courage comes
So,
from, you need to build up.
so as far as our culture, like I'm including you in the black culture. I'm just saying black culture.
Yeah,
As
yeah. I
far
mean,
as
I
our
black. I
culture,
got my black card
no,
still. You know what
no,
I'm
no.
saying?
I'm not.
Like,
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. So, are you listening to rap? Are you still buying or are you wrapped up in the different fashion, or has that changed?
see, that's just one facet of our culture, right? And it seemed to permeate the most, or penetrate the most, right?
Mhm.
But yes, I listen to, yes, all that, like all the explicit. I got a shirt that's split. My baby bought me a shirt, explicit parental advisory, right? Because I manage music. I have Blackstone Music Group. I
Mhm.
manage a few music artists that talk about that talk. Now, I have talked to some friends about them. Like, man, it's kind of, I know I'm gonna be challenged, or you contradict. How you gonna
That's
say
what I'm
it?
asking the question.
Right,
That's what I'm
right.
asking.
But get this, you know what I'm saying? But that's one of the reasons we point to, is like, if it wasn't for the music, yeah, true, the aspect. But when we come to artistry though, see, I understand that it's a thin line, but what you cannot, and I believe we cannot, in my opinion, we cannot take somebody's life experience away from them. Period. Like, if they just have the talent to be able to paint their picture lyrically on music, on beat and stuff like that, about what they've seen and what they experience, although we don't agree with their experience, like, oh, we trying to change the experience. Yeah, but until then, what you expect somebody to talk about, right? Real talk.
Okay.
Like, you cannot take it away, and then notice parental advisory. Why you letting kids that's that influential, or you know what I'm saying, listen to this stuff? Because
Yeah.
some parents in other groups, they don't let kids listen to this stuff. They
Yeah.
execute that parenting.
Mhm.
I don't let KJ hear music that got curse words in it. And if I do play it, I'm making noise when the curse word happen.
Yeah.
Making sure they don't hear this stuff. But then yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I do about that. It's like, yeah, I participate in the culture. I'm trap music. I'm hip hop head. That's all I do. I
Yeah.
listen to music every day, all day.
But I
So
think I get what you're saying. Like, it's a time and a place. Like, if you're not the age, parental advisory, it tells you it's for certain people that reached a certain age, a certain level of maturity. And I get what you're saying.
right.
I coach you got little 5-year-olds cursing like a sailor. So I get
And
I get what you're saying.
we're recording it and
Yeah.
thinking it's cute.
Yeah.
But when me, as a conservative, say something like, bro, what you, don't try to be, you sound like them. What? All right, so that's all I want to. Who is them?
I get what you're
Who
saying.
is
No,
who is them?
no, I'm glad you
you
brought
know?
that up because I want to hit on your girl Candace Owens for a little bit because Yaman Jackson
Yeah.
inspires to Candace Owens. So tell the people why you follow Candace Owens. So why you?
Because she one of us. And she
Okay.
come from everybody that some people don't even know her upbringing, didn't even do the research. They just go off the thing. They think she comes from a rich background. They think she comes from silver spoon and all. I'm like, no, she got people in her family right now still on welfare. Like,
Hmm.
all that stuff. Like, her granddad that raised her was a sharecropper, and all they bought the sharecropping for him. It's like, it's a lot of inspiration in her, and she gonna be running for a president. So they might as well get used to 2024. She running for president. But I'm just saying, it's like, they people say about Candace because they don't know her, but if they listen to her,
But who are
they
they? Because there you go with the they. This is found on
that's
who
what
is
I'm saying.
they? Who is they?
I'm still searching for they. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for they, but when I say they, a lot of people that naysayers, the haters, the people that's in our community that don't take the time out to know this black. Well, I had a friend that posted, was like, name a woman that speaks against the slut culture. And I said, Candace Owens. He tore her down immediately. You know what I'm saying? But this is the same person that was supposed to be pro-black and Africanism, Pan-Africanism and stuff. I was like, bro, dude,
Hmm.
you turn down a woman that's literally speaking against slut culture.
Hmm.
and you knocking her. It's like, see that you switched it from the original question. Like, why don't you just say, "Oh, okay, how's she doing?" No, you start to turn her down about how she self-hatred and all that stuff. It's like just because we speak about our culture, in descriptive language, just like everybody else can watch a video and see that you guys doing some things like black people be doing something like people can see it too.
Yeah.
So if I explain, I'm doing practicing self-hate because I'm describing what I see, and it
So,
just happened to be a yeah. Go ahead.
so like Cardi B. So what do you feel about her?
Cardi B is see. This is what I got a problem with. Automatically, because you have money, because a person gets money, they automatically get listened to.
I agree.
Automatically,
I agree.
and it's like Cardi B got money, and everybody just seemed to forget that she's not the sharpest tool in the toolbox. Like, let's keep it real. She even tell you that she ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but all of a sudden, she become the person that everybody want to. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people wanted to listen to. It's like, bro, why is she weighing in? It's like some people just should just stay in their lane. She can speak on it, but it's like, but when you come out and say, I like politics. What is politics? It's like when you say stuff like that, not to turn somebody down, it's like you get drove if you was in front of your friends and you say something silly. Like, why she different? Because she got money, and for not Bernie Sanders, for Joe Biden to not come out on the trail. And then when he finally come out and do an interview, he interviewed with Cardi B. That's kind of disrespectful. And we didn't even take it that way. It really is.
No, but speaking of Joe Biden, what you feel about him?
I don't feel I feel disrespected by him. I feel embarrassed by him, leading a country like America, or trying to lead because he's not leading, and I feel like he don't really and I don't wish that he died tomorrow or nothing, but bro,
I'm glad you don't.
he almost 80 years old, so it's like he almost about to check out. So I feel like he don't really care about the decisions that he making for real. He like, whatever, what y'all want to do. I mean, I'm finna check out anyway. It is what it is. Well, what y'all do? Yep, whatever, do it. Yep. That's how I feel. It's like, what is you doing? And I feel like that he's I don't know. My grandma told me, going back to a little bit of where my political affiliation started and where it's at. Like, I grew up around my grandmother and my grandfather. My parents. Yeah, I grew up with my parents, but I grew up around them too. And when I would go to my grandma's house in the morning, my grandma, I don't know if you remember this person, but my grandma used to listen to Onion Harden in the morning. It's a per radio personality that was on it. But my granddad used to listen to Rush Limbaugh.
Oh no, I know him. Yeah.
So my granddad was born in 1910. He was in the war and everything. So he grew up in that time, right? But now that I think back, I'm like, why was he? And I remember hearing Rush Limbaugh. And what I noticed is a lot of what Rush Limbaugh was said and how they tore it down is like a lot of what he say and a lot of conservatives say come to fruition. But a lot of the other ones that's kind of liberal minded, need to be a whole bunch of ideas and what if and all that. A lot of it don't even come to fruition. It's like, I mean, I don't know if I'm saying the word right. It don't even come to fruition. It don't. It's like, so what do you? So who do you ride? Who do you ride with? It's like, do I ride with what seemed to be a sensible a reality, or you ride with all this old, and they hyperventilating about stuff, but then it don't even come to life.
So you feel like liberals do a bunch of lying, or
lying, or
empty promises, or
a lot of. Yeah, hyperbole, empty promises. Yeah, they lie. That's proof in the pudding too. Not just calling somebody a lie. It's just that when you see them literally lie, my grandma told me that the devil is the father of lies. So when you see Kamala Harris, when you see Joe Biden looking at the camera and telling you, or the Secretary of Homeland Security or whatever, tell you the border is secure and it's closed, and then you look and see. Word. That's a lie. Just like when you see him did a press conference yesterday where that was sorry and lied talking about Trump, saying that he left this, or and when they continue to say it, he left a disaster. I'm like, the border was under control,
Yeah, it's out of control now with
literally.
those kids. With those kids,
Right.
it's nonstop.
Biden went there, and his administration went and created a problem, and now we're talking about the problem. A problem existed with Trump, and he came with a solution. He solved the problem. It took a minute because Congress sued him and everything for this wall. Like, but it came a solution. It's like you gotta gotta be careful. Like, are we problem oriented or solution oriented? Because I talk to some people that be on some problem stuff all the time.
No, I
They'll
hear you.
explain.
So is he 74? I think something like that.
75.
75. Okay,
Yep.
so what makes you think that? I think he's gonna run again in 2024. What makes you think that he's gonna live so much longer than Joe Biden? I mean, they're what, 2 years apart?
It ain't just about the living, because when I was doing technician work, I would run into, and you probably run into older people in life. Depending on how you grew up and how you live your life as you progress, your cognitive skills can be on point
Yeah.
as you go. Now, if you don't participate, like apparently Trump said he ain't never drank or smoked in his life. Like, and look at the different energy levels. Like, look at the cognitive awareness. Like, he was remembering names, numbers, and saying and stuff. He wasn't looking at no cards and all that. That shows some acuity. That
Yeah.
shows some cognitive abilities. It can decline as you get older. No, it does decline as you get older, but
Yeah.
if you don't continue to learn,
Yeah.
that's how dementia set in. If you don't continue to learn and stuff, you will end up like, because my grandma ended up having dementia, because then she started repeating stuff from the past.
Yeah, my grandma did that too.
Yeah, if you don't continue to grow and learn, looking for, like, you end up starting talking about the past and all that stuff. It's like that's what the brain does. So speaking about his age, it's like, from what we've seen, Trump seemed to be on point mentally. So it ain't about who closer to death and not, right? It's just about, what are we looking at? Do we not see Biden looking at the camera? Just like yesterday, he was saying something, then he just forgot what he was saying in the middle while he was saying it. It was like, yeah, we're just gonna do everything. Bro, we not seeing this? Like, come on, it's too serious. Like, cause Putin and all them looking like, this dude, look at him. Debate me then, bro. Since you want to call me something, debate me then. All right, then shut up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really about that.
No, I agree with you. When I'm like, he has something, dementia, something, and because I voted for him, but I see that I do agree with you. But it's like, when politics, for me, it's like all of them lie. I just try to, like, all politics. There isn't a politician that doesn't lie, and I feel like.
When I hear that, that's an easy. I'm gonna play the fence type of answer for me. It's like, no, because we able to determine what's a lie and what's not. When a person tell you something that you can really determine that if he's lying or not based off what Dr. Thomas Sowell, and I wish more people knew about Dr. Thomas Sowell. He got this intention versus what really occurs, right? And I like to call it. I like not to call it that, but I like to say stuff like the unfortunate beauty of governance, right? It's like, you can, and that's what these positions about, these politicians and stuff like that. They get in a position where they are ones that's making decisions, right? Case in point, best example, Governor Cuomo up in New York made decisions. He thought it was a good decision to send patients that tested positive back to the nursing home. That was his policy. He was like, that's right. But when he put it in play, the results bear the fruit. And we was like, that's rotten. It didn't work. And a problem comes in when he still come and say, no, it was a good decision. No, bro. I understand what you're saying. I know you got the power. I get it. It was your idea, but we did what you said. It didn't work, bro. You got to keep it real at some point. You know what I'm saying? Because this stuff is too serious. This world we live in is real. Like, this real, like, people mad at him because their grandparents passed away, and apparently they didn't really have to. Maybe it could have been less. Maybe they could have had more days with their family members. But based on your decision, which you thought was good, it panned out to be results, intentions versus what the results were. It's like, and we have to pay attention. So when people say, oh, I think they all lie. Yeah, at one point, we probably seen a lot more of that. But it's kind of becoming very distinguishable between who's telling the truth and who's not. Who ideas, and based on what they vote for, too, how they vote. We can pay attention, be like, you know what? No, I mean, you did say something. You did say, Kamala, look, Kamala, you did say you used to smoke weed in college and you used to listen to Biggie and Tupac, but they wasn't out then. They wasn't even rapping when you was in college. So are you lying or not? You're lying.
Well, I
That's
mean,
not
she could
cool.
be like, you can listen to music from any time. I mean,
No,
maybe she
she
didn't
said,
necessarily.
but
Go ahead.
Tupac and Biggie wasn't out when she was in college.
I
When
know,
she
but
was
saying
in
what she's saying that she was listening to their past music because you can listen to
She
music.
said she used to smoke weed in college, and I ain't quoting either. She used to smoke weed and listen to Tupac and Biggie.
But she can if you have old CD. I mean, you can listen to their music at any time. They don't have
But
to
when
be
she,
alive.
but then you have to start applying logic, not feeling right. What year was she in college?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I was thinking of the reverse. I got what you're saying.
You get what I'm
I was flipping my bad. I was flipping on what you were saying. I get what
That's what, and
you.
that's what happens. We don't
Yeah,
really slow down and pay attention. Like,
yeah,
she could have been in college in '83.
yeah. I'm getting my bad.
How
I
old?
totally.
How old was Tupac?
Yeah.
Tupac wasn't even rapping.
Yeah, you're
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that,
you're
that's
right. You're
that's how
right.
you
My
that's
bad.
how you kind of break down to see the results and reality of the matter. It's like, or what you saying really true,
Mm-hmm.
or are you just placating? Just to be
Yeah.
cool. And yeah, she was placating, and she got blasted on it.
Yeah.
Didn't nobody say nothing.
I ain't hear that, so I'm not even gonna speak on it. But if she said that, then I get what you're saying. She wasn't. They were what, kids? Probably kids. Not
I
even.
don't even
Yeah.
know. We can look it
Yeah.
up and see when
Yeah.
she graduated,
Yeah.
and then we
So
can see it when Tupac was born and all that. Like
yeah.
Biggie, come on now, like,
Yeah. But I
that's not
know
cool.
like people. I mean, I think some people say what they need to say to get what they need to get from you. So we know how, how that
And
is. And
see, that's what we as a when we did see. That's one thing. A few things that like I sent that video. Charlie Clerk. He said this. The states created the government. The government didn't create the states. This government is supposed to. It's our government. They work for us, literally. And the founders of that document put protections in there so it won't be a runaway government, because that power that we are allocating to them over our lives, quote unquote, through this mechanism called government, can be pretty daunting, can be pretty heavy if we keep giving them here, keep saying yes to everything. Then next thing you know, you won't be able to do nothing. And then that goes against, even in Genesis of the Bible, God gave dominion to man over earth, not man over man. Like
yeah.
they really don't have authority over us. That's
Yeah.
why Trump was fine walking a fine line about the mask. Everybody talking about mandated. He like, look, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Hey, you're not finna put his foot on your neck talking about, no, you wear a mask. Bro, who are you?
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the a town hall with I think it was Biden, and Biden was saying something. He was saying that he's like, I'm going to put forward measures on what you can and cannot do with your when you get the vaccination. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Americans seen this. I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans did this. I'm gonna tell you what you can do.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? Like, who you talking
Yeah.
to? You ain't finna tell me nothing what I can do, bro. Who was you? That's how Americans. Our freedom it was a God-given right. The
Yeah.
Constitution don't give us rights. The Constitution protects our God-given rights.
I agree
It
with you on
don't
that.
give us rights,
I agree
And
with
we
you on that.
gotta be able to stand on that and realize that you are the holder, the destiny. The holder of your. I was about to say holder in due course, but that's some other terminology.
Nah, you
But
good. You good. You good.
I'm just
No,
saying.
we're gonna wrap it up. But I respect everything that you said. I want you to. I'm gonna give you some time to. Okay, if you were talking to a liberal and you wanted to, not, I guess, to give them the reasons why you feel like the conservative is the better way, what would you tell them?
From our ancestors just seem to be with a party, and they talk about a switch that happened. I'm like, I don't believe it, because history shows that a lot of things, um were coming from. I was just talking to one of my uncles yesterday because he like 70 years old, so he put some things in my mind. It's like, yeah, at one point the mindset was permeated on both sides of the aisle, but through their decisions, they still showed a level of which side really benefited us black people more than the
Mhm.
other side, right? Because we're going back to the Civil War, and they was, going back to the South wanted to continue with the cotton, and the North was kind of industrializing, and it was like, nah, let's move forward. And they fought about that, right? And those same Dixiecrats, eventually said, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but Jim Crow laws. Yeah, you can be free, but Jim Crow laws. You stay
Yeah.
your black butt over there, and then eventually as a society we broke that down.
Mhm.
So now we in 2021, and we still talking about 30s, 40s, 50s. You got some people that it's worse than the 50s. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Really? Are you going to work? Where you going to work? You got a job, don't you? I mean, what kind of job you got? They couldn't really, we wasn't really working like that back. What I'm saying? Stuff like that. So what I would say is you need to slow down and pay attention to um what's going on. And I know a lot of people like to push it, like, man, I don't care about that anyway. Whatever. I get it. Whatever. It's easy to say F it. Whatever. I ain't worried about it. But at the end of the day, there is a system in place. You may not agree that a system should be in place, but we're not gonna walk around this mud like animals.
Yeah.
And we have a system in place that creates some kind of continuity in society, and you participate in it. Like, come on now, and it's a system that seems to be a lot better than a lot of other systems that have been applied around the world.
Mhm.
Like, don't hate on it. Like,
Mhm.
don't knock it just because a lot of times just because you don't understand it.
Yeah.
A lot of people knock stuff because oh man, they say that's that white man stuff. I'm like, bro, don't say that just because that's ask questions. That's all you gotta
Yeah.
do is ask some questions, bro. Don't just think that you can't, do something. And another thing I would say about liberals, because a lot of times it be the blacks. I'm talking blacks specifically because it's the mindset, and we don't allow a lot of things that are outside the box come in,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's healthy. Like,
Yeah.
look at the results. Like, I don't know. Look at the results. Like, I mean, look for St. Louis specifically. It's been the last time I had a Republican mayor was like 1949, I believe. Then you look up and they be like, man, you hear about Sumner? They trying to close Sumner.
Yeah.
You see all these school closings? I'm saying at some point you will think that Democrats and Democratic policies will switch, be like, man, what I'm saying, it ain't working, but we might want to go a different direction. But they keep applying the same policies. And
Yeah.
they keep coming at us and approaching us the same way, saying the same thing. Now, in my opinion, they letting all these illegal Mexicans in or illegal immigrants in to replace us because we are waking up too much. Black people are waking up. They need another voting class that's going to be just as loyal as we've been for the past 50, 60 years that really started in the civil rights. And
Mhm.
even then, the Democrats weren't on our side because the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Act, the 64, 65, the Democrats was against it. They filibustered to even
Mhm.
stop it. But then Lyndon B. Johnson came out and took credit for it. And if you look at old videos, you see us in the streets celebrating. That's when the loyalty and we really married the government.
Yeah.
And it been like whatever. I don't care whatever happened. I'm voting Democratic because of some of the things that been instilled back then. It's like they really came across as our best friend,
Yeah.
But if you don't vote for Joe, you ain't black. So it's like, what? Really, you gonna let him say this? Like, what you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, that
Oh,
rubbed me the wrong way.
yeah, and it's like it's not cool, and it's like it's sad to be a black person and say that, right? I'm saying about the reaction, not sad to be a black person. I love being black. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm a flavor. I'm chocolate. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like it's sad to see them like being able to say the stuff, and they talk about mass killers. I'm like, bro, didn't the dude just kill somebody, 4 people over a stimulus check? You got to look at the definition of what mass murder is. Like, it's like 3 or more or something like that. And it's like, bro, what? Somebody just got shot and killed. Didn't they just do somebody on Chambers in St. Louis? Like, they was chasing the dude they had killed.
I didn't hear that one.
It's
But it
like
happens every day. It happens every day, all day. So yeah.
yeah, but it happens. To be honest with you, yeah, it happens. white people do it too. I'm like, but look at the rate that is happening in certain neighborhoods. If you want to break down neighborhoods, and then they get into this the reason. You don't understand the reason. I'm like, people, we do understand the reason because we've been talking about the reasons for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, like I was telling my uncle yesterday, at some point, conversation, in order for us to change, I think the conversation need to switch from always talking about anguish and what we can't do and all
Yeah.
that's, and it's like as long as we get to the point where a conversation gets to a high threshold or a high frequency where everybody's talking about it, um, and all due respect, shout out to Harriet Tubman, but we can't keep talking about Harriet Tubman. Not in not no, we can mention her, yeah, for sure, reflect. But when it comes to talking about like what we do, what we can do, like right now and moving forward, like I think we should use that time, because one more thing. It's like because when I talk to a mentor that's successful, right, and time is important. When I call him, I know when he finally answers the phone, I get him. I'm like, ooh, I got him because he busy.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot waste time. I need to get my I need to get my questions answered. I
Mm-hmm.
need to get what I need to get out of him because if not, it's gonna be wasted time. Like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And then I may not talk to him for another couple of weeks. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So it's like, it's like, no, we wasting time talking about something that we've been talking about all the time. Then we go at each other, we going back and forth at each other about the past. Nah, you don't know. That ain't what happened in 63. Let me tell you what happened in 63. Man, I'm telling you, nah, that ain't what happened. You got it all wrong. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Okay, whatever, bro. I just know
Right.
63 was a long time ago. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It is what it is. That's what happened. What we doing tomorrow?
And I hear what you're saying. I'll say for Harry Tubman, I use it as an inspiration to me. Like that movie, I get what you're saying as far as like using it as an excuse. I use it as motivation. I use it as what she did, how she stood up, how she rescued people. I use her as a motivation to saying like, man, this lady did all this by herself. So I say that I look at those people as an empowerment to me, as a motivation to me.
Right.
I don't say that we shouldn't speak about them. I feel like we should use them as motivation to be a better person that we are today.
And a
So
lot of us do. I don't think enough of us do. I think when we talk about not just her, we talk about the black experience, you know what I'm saying? Like I think we don't use it as a look where we came from and look where we at now. We look at like as a crutch, like, man, let me tell you, this is why I make the decisions I make because I don't know no better. Like even though I see examples of knowing better, I don't know no better. So and then they feed it to like, yeah, you can use this excuse. And if you knock a person from using this excuse, then something wrong with you. You let that person talk. Nobody's gonna out victim us. Like
mhm,
you got me messed up if you think you're gonna out victim us.
yeah.
Like you tripping. Asian hate. Boy, you tripping. Let me tell you what happened to us. Like,
Yeah, Nick Cannon kind of fell with that, but I won't but he with the Jewish community. So I get what you're saying. But
yeah, it just at some point, I mean, I think some conversations are beneficial to have when it comes to food. I ain't saying forget about stuff. I ain't saying not talk about it. It's just that don't, pump out we just say it with our chest too much and it's like we be wasting time and arguing about it. It's like and then one thing I was gonna touch on something, but it's like this George Floyd stuff popping up.
mhm.
Right? Not popping up, but the trial finna go down. It's like, you justifying? I'm like, no, I ain't justifying. I just like to take the event and then just take it back, rewind the tape, rewind it. Why didn't George Floyd comply? He did comply. He didn't comply from the very beginning.
Mhm.
And I'm crucified for saying that. But I'm like, bro, I'm looking at the video. Like, why didn't he just because he was intoxicated? That's why. Because he got this phobia because of how we talk about police. Well, I got a problem with authority. You got a problem with authority. It's like, oh, and if you say it like, won't you just comply? Oh, you sound like them. Who is them, bro? White people are not talking about this. I am. We are. We're
Yeah.
talking about them. We are them. And you knocking us for bringing up stuff that we iron out. I guess it's don't air out dirty laundry. Like, bruh, it's obvious our dirty laundry's on the line. Everybody sees it.
Mhm.
Everybody sees our dirty laundry. And you mad when we don't see they dirty laundry. It's because they probably got a washer and dryer. I don't know. You don't see them putting they stuff out on the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we put George Floyd on a t-shirt. I'm like, What are we? That's what Candace Owens talking about. We putting him up, but I'm like, yeah. The last time he went to jail, he robbed a black pregnant woman at gunpoint.
Yeah. No, I
Bro,
get
I'm
you.
not gonna uplift this man. I'm
I get what
sorry.
you're saying with the whole thing, but when it all the end goal, the end result was not that guy's decision to make. No matter what George Floyd did, I'm not saying you should put him on a t-shirt. I'm not saying whatever you feel about it, the end result is you don't have a right to take someone's life. He's wrong.
Mm-mm.
He didn't have a right to take his life. So the end result, I feel like
It
whatever
was an
George,
accident. He didn't mean to do that.
hey, but you got to pay for that. Accidents, we pay
That's
for
true.
accidents all the time. So I feel
That's
like,
true.
hey, he has to pay for it. So I
Yeah,
hear
that's
what
why.
you.
Yeah, that's why they doing man. I mean, that's why they charge him with manslaughter also. So I'm like, he gotta pay for it. But I'm like, not the way people saying it. You know, saying that it was an approved technique they train on and stuff like that. Just that nobody knew that George Floyd had a large heart. Nobody knew that he had all these health complications. Nobody knew that he was high off fent. That don't matter. He was high off fentanyl and methamphetamine. All right, cool. That's cool. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't. His body wasn't even prepared to take that type of stress. I get it, but you should have complied, bro. Like, why you even just?
But
I'm
I feel like
just
the
saying,
guy
bro.
also
Like,
shouldn't
man,
have.
that's
He
not
didn't have to have
cool,
him
man.
down that long. That's my
That's
opinion.
true.
I feel
I
like
agree with
yeah,
that. That was too long. He's tripping with that.
yeah.
But I'm like, but think about it. It's like, and he said he couldn't breathe. I'm like, yeah, but he said he couldn't breathe before they even try to put him in the car. He was saying the same thing. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And I'm like, we understand criminals sometimes say anything. They say anything to get out of it. Like, I can't, bro. Like, and yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I'm sympathetic. It's like, but I can't let my sympathy blind me, through the things that I'm pointing out. Like, nah, bro, I can't. No, how about we say this? How about we say like, hey, y'all, let's just respect police officers and be like, cause one last thing, police officers don't be trying to go to work tripping off be trying to run into all this resistance and stuff. They don't, baby. I'll see you later. I'm going to work. Police officers, they not trying to have no bad day. This is a regular job. It's like, bro, I'm not. It's like, bro, can't you just? Oh man, can you just? Damn, can you just turn around so I can put you? Think about the job in the drive-through. Like, I ain't got time to be dealing with this. Like, come on, man. I'm just at work trying to clock in. Like, bro, why you gotta put you know what I'm saying? Like, please make my job easier. Please help me. Help me help us. Because
I,
when something happens, who we gonna call?
yeah, you
I'm
right.
not running. I ain't running to no gun.
No,
Sorry.
you're right about that. I will say that I won't say every police officer is bad. There are some few rotten. There's a few rotten people everywhere we go. So, but there are some few
Evil
rotten
is real.
people. Yes, that their intent is to harm. That's just reality. But no, this has been an amazing conversation. I appreciate you with the time, time that it is there, and you have to get to work. So I appreciate you coming by the show. Do you want to drop your social media? Anything you got going on?
Well, I just lost access to my personal one. I gotta find out the password to the Instagram. But no, I just be no, I don't. Only thing I have going on right now is I'm investing in some real estate. I just bought some land. I'm gonna do a new construction, so I'm kind of documenting the process so I can share the knowledge of how to. It's in St. Louis County. It's a way I acquired property that's may be familiar to people to some, but a lot of people just don't. They may know about it because we all, people always say, "Oh yeah, I'm hip. I know about that too." Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they do. A lot of people be knowing, but like, do we shoot the ball though? It's like, man, if you know how well it can be, then let's shoot the ball. So that's the only thing I'm kind of doing in my music as well. I'm just focused on music and real estate. So like today, I got my land. Had the land surveyors go out there and mark up, let me know my four corners and stuff like that. So I'll be dropping content once that, as they continue to process. That's about it. Sharing like some what can we do today type stuff. It's like
Okay.
everybody want to, yeah, we can do this, and some people don't think that they can get and do a new construction. It's a tall task. It really is. But yeah, I think it's possible. You just gotta have the courage and the know-how. So not too many social medias.
What's your what's your handle on Instagram
Uh,
again?
well, it's Yash Enterprises. It's an LLC, but I
Hmm.
also have Blackstone Music Group. So Blackstone Music Group, it's a INC. It's incorporated. So and it's a reason for that. In business, LLCs are great. But one thing that I would love to share that my mentor shared with me taught me that The title CEO, Chief Executive Officer, does not exist in a limited liability company. We must know this stuff. Like little bitty nuances like that. You can't. You just call yourself what you want, But when you get around financing, financiers and stuff like that, they kind of shows your level of know-how when you say this stuff. It only exists in the incorporated, INC, those type of titles, CEO, president, director, like yeah. So that's Yaj Enterprises is my name, YAJ Enterprises LLC. I have a Facebook page for that, and then it's Blackstone Music Group. Yep. So if you like hip hop, I got a few artists, that I'm working with. These youngins or something else though. Oh my God, these youngins.
I understand, but no, it's been real. This has been a great conversation. Like I said, I thank you for coming back. And as you all know, I cannot leave you all without quoting my favorite scripture found in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. God's going to bring us to our expected end, you and me. Until next time, nice to meet you. Let's go.
All right.